All right. Welcome everyone to this 2 in the morning demonstration of my new BSComputer project. BS, of course, stands for binary switch, and these are the preemptive steps I'm taking in order to accomplish what will eventually be the usage of an Arduino and a couple of light switches to do what you're about to see, but a little bit more streamlined. A lot less like aiming a cursor like I'm in an FPS. um, all right, so here you'll be able to see what this program does. So this is a tkinter window that's basically emulating what the physical board will look like once it's built. So this will be a switch on the side that dictates whether we are in address or value mode. You'll see what that means in a second. These are a bunch of light switches. Off indicated by a false value, aka 0, and on indicated by a true value, which is a 1. And then enter enters that value into whatever, or I should say, enters that sequence into whatever mode we're currently in. So if I'm in address mode and we want to edit 2 to the 31st minus 1, no, what is this? This is 2 to the 31st, not the minus 1 part. But if we wanted to edit the 2 to the 31st address in the text file because we're a madman, then we can. But we're not going to do that. We are just going to, oh no. I'm already exposing myself to a glitch. That's okay. Let's at least replace this 2 to the 31st value with a space, which is, I have a Wikimedia thing up on my other screen here. Let's see, space is 100,000 in decimal. Oh, nope, we want to stay here. And when we go to value mode, we want to change this to a 1, hit enter. And it doesn't fix it. You know what? That's okay. We will power through it and not expect everything to work the first time. Anyways, right now we're at the 0th value. And we are going to put in this first value a null to start. But for real, we're going to start by, we're just going to make a hello world function here in Python. So let's see, let's begin this terribly painful task of writing out hello world as a sequence of binary values. So I don't know why these guys are still here. I imagine they will go away eventually. We'll figure it out. Alright, so we put a D in address 0. It doesn't show up yet, but now if we switch to the next address over and hit enter, it displays another black box. What if we switch over to the next one? Oh no. Okay, well, this is what I mean. You know, sometimes we got a bug fix. BRB. So, that bug was actually caused because I wanted to have it so like there be a black box over the character that you're currently editing, much like, you know, any like terminal-based IDE or something of the sort. But I somehow screwed this up, and that's okay. You'll see it looks a little weird otherwise, like with the old logic, but it's at least functional and doesn't just like make the entire, I'm hesitant to call it an IDE, but IDE look like a classified CIA file. So let's see here. We're going to start with address 0 being D, and D, oh no, we're not changing that. We're staying at address 0. I don't know why I hit the enter button, it's not necessary, but now we're going to change the value of address 0 to be D. I know you must be very impressed that I memorized the binary value for D, but that's because I've done this several times. Now, let's go to the next address over. See, it repeats the D, but this is just the current one that we're editing. address we're editing. I should be more specific. We need an E, so we just literally increase that by 1. Great. Now we're going to edit the next address over, increase this by 1, hit enter. Great. Now we need to go to the next address over, and we actually want a space, which is 100,000? Yeah. Again, I did not memorize these, so don't think I know this by heart or anything. But now we're going to go to the address 4. Great, we have the space. So now all the lowercase letters start with the ones in these two positions because they have, what is it? They have values of, I think, at least 100 and what is it? It's like 128 plus. No. Well, I mean, oh god, there's a mathematical reason right now that I could probably think of if it wasn't like 2 in the morning, but you know, let me not get ahead of myself. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're in the 4th. We're in the right spot. We want to change this to M. So that's going to be 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1. Like so. Yep. Great. Increase this by 1. Make this an A. So that's going to be 3 less than this. Right? Yeah. Nice. Okay. Make this 1 like by 0. You need an I. So what? Like D is here. E, F, G, H, I. So that's an increase of 5. So that would be this, I think. Yeah. Getting the hang of this. I mean, it's clearly doing its job as a teaching tool because I'm already like, maybe not like remembering like binary values, but at least like teaching myself how to like add binary on the fly. Let's see. Address is good. Value. I think the address is good, right? If I increase this by 1, what happens? Yeah. If I increase this by 1, what happens? Meish. JK. Okay. KLMN. So that's an increase of 4. So that's just going to be that. Duh. Great. Next one over. This becomes 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Forget that extra 0. I just threw in there with stuttering. This has to be a parentheses. So that's going to be 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. Great. Increase this by 1. Increase this by 1 because we just get another parentheses. Increase this by 1. And then we throw in a colon. That's going to be 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. Like so. Yeah, nice. Great. Increase this by 1. And then we want a new line, which, if I remember correctly, is just this. Yep, new line. We can't see it here, but it's there, I promise. So then we're going to add 1 here. Make it a vertical tab, which I think is this? No, it's this. Horizontal. Yep. Great. Increase by 1. We're just going to print hello world. That's all this is going to do. So let's see. P is 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. Simple enough. Yeah. And then make it an R. Oh gosh. Okay, hold on. This is 1, this is 4, and this is 8. Yeah, so 13. Increase this by 1. Great. Now we want to make this an R, and that's 2 away, so we just add a 2. Great. Add a 1 here. We want to make this, according to this chart, we want to keep that there. I is going to be 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. Perfect. Next. Now we're finally at 16. And we can increase this by JKLMN 5. So that would be this, I think. Hell yeah. Look at me go. Great. Make this a T, so that's going to be this. Prind. It's prind. No, I think I added 1 here. Yeah. Alright. Did not think of that on the fly. Don't give me credit. Give me beginning parentheses, please. So that's like 100. Like that. Great. Add a 1. And then this is pretty easy. Add another 1. Great. Add a 1. If I accidentally hit save, Actually, if I accidentally hit save, it's not a big deal because I can just overwrite the save. The previous thing was a colon, which, you know, maybe I'll keep it this way because you could tell like you're editing the right spot. Oh, silly me. I got so caught up in, you know, doing all this that I didn't actually write hello world. Okay, now it's time to test out if backspace actually works. So that would just be this. We will see. Great. Okay, so this backspace here is supposed to override this parentheses here. We will see if that's actually what it does once we look at it in Notepad. But anyways, in this address, we want a beginning quotation that's going to be 0, 1, 3 zeros, and then a 1. Great. We increase this by 1, and we'll give it a capital H, so 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. Yeah. Increase this by 1. We want an E, so if this is D, this is E. Yeah. Great. Increase this by 1. He. E. F, G, H, I, J, K, L. That's an increase of 7, which is to say it's an increase of 8 minus 1. Oh, nice. We can just hit enter again. Increase this by 1. Now, L. Okay. M, N, O, P. Oh, wait. M, N, O. It's just an increase of 3. So that's just this. Oh, look at him go. Now space is 100,000. Perfect. Increase this by 1. Whew. Lowercase w. Well, it's a symmetrical sequence here. Increase this by 1. Great. I don't remember what O is. Let's see, it's pretty close to this actually. It's just that, yeah. Increase this by 1. We want an R, which is the same thing, but no, it's actually not even close to the same thing. Hello, Wob. Hello, Whirl. Yeah, there we go. Increase this by 1. We want an L, and that's going to be... look cool. Oh, so now we move on to 32. Great. We want a D. I remember what that is. Great. Increase this by 1. Exclamation point is 100,001. Great. Increase this by 1. We want another quotation mark, so 0, 1. And when I say 100,000, I don't actually mean 100,000 because that would be incorrect according to binary. That would be something else entirely. Ending parentheses is 100101. 101. There we go. Oh, perfect. Add a 1. Great. Give it a new line, which I think is that. Yeah. Increase this by 1. We'll give it another new line because I like doing that. And then we could do the if name equals main thing, but like, this is already has been, I think, an adequate learning experience already. So I'll make this a 1, 0, 1, 1, and then of course these two. Oh, I'm looking at the address right now. Right now there's going to be an extra new line at 109, and we'll actually see the implications of that once we write the file. Now the tough part is that in order to find my way back to after this parentheses and after the 2 new lines I supposedly put here, I would have to count these characters, count all these characters, including the backspace, and that also includes the new line and the tab here. Or Bear with me. I could decrease this by however many characters main beginning ending parentheses takes up, which is 6. We'll set it down to like give it even like more safety, just make it 64. Which I think is this. Yeah. We'll go to 64, which you may say, oh, that's pretty far away from what you've done here. What's important is that 64 is in between what I've done here and 105 or 109 or whatever it was, which is supposedly somewhere down here. But we will see what this looks like. So now that we've entered address 64, we will add a lowercase m, so that is, and this is why this button is so important. You need to know what mode you're in. I might add color coding. But the important part here will be the Arduino, not like tkinter or anything. So, oh my gosh, I am we went back to address M. Oh no, we want to go to address. Oh. Oh man. Let's see. Okay, you know what? The wonders of computer science, right? So let's go to address 64. We're just gonna write M, which is just this. Yeah, so it might look a little weird in Notepad once I open it, but that's just fine, you know? We did our best. Let's go to address again, add a 1. Great. We need to go to D and then decrease it by 3. So that would just be this. Great. Add a 1. Then we need an I. So I feel like D is a pretty good placeholder. Or not really D, but like if I found like the middle of the alphabet, that'd be a good placeholder. We want 1001 here. Great. Increase this by 1. And then we want an N, which is this. Great. Increase this by 1. And then we want a beginning parentheses, which is 100. Like so. Great. Increase it by 1. And an ending parentheses, which is that. And now we can save. And now we will see the result of this Picasso painting of a text file. And here's what we get. So the backspace was unable to remove the parentheses here. It may be that I need to use the ASCII. Oh, okay, let's analyze this. Now, is it what you would expect from the functionality I've created with the input tool and like, you know, navigating the addresses? Sort of, yeah. The way I decided to implement this is I didn't want the user to be able to put in like, you know, I didn't want the user to just like throw like a 1 up here and then start editing at, you know, address, you know, 2 to the 31st, because there's a couple of ways to do that. One, you make a text file with 2 to the 31st characters in it, which, let's think about that. It's gonna be a little big. I feel like as a CS manager, I should be able to say more than a little big. I mean, if I were to dig a little deeper, that it's gonna be what? You have 2 bytes per, yeah, so actually be 2 to the 32nd bytes, which is a lot. It's a lot. Maybe a couple gigs, unless I'm calculating that wrong. It would be a big text file. We don't want that. Instead, what would happen is you could theoretically, using my system, type out the word cat if you put in as your first address, you put in 0, just inserted a C. As your second address, you could put, you know, 100,000 and put it in A. And then finally, as your last address, you could put in literally 2 to the 31st, put in a T, and then save, and it would print cat. At that point, it just becomes the relative order of the addresses. It's implied that the user will input them in the correct order and, know when their switch is switched to address mode, as I did not. And that way, like, it'll just end up sorting itself out. All these values are held in a dictionary where all the keys are the addresses that hold the characters. And so for now, it's just relative placing based on those addresses, so that you're not going to have a text file that, like, would take a little bit of time and space to work with. But we see here we have a new line at the end of this program, and that is the 109. That's the 109 when I accidentally threw a new line at the very end. So we can see this is what I did at 64. So this is address 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. This is 109. And all this stuff is the other stuff. Now, let's give it a try, where if I were to, let's say, go to 256. Let's see. Oh. Weird. Oh, I think that's because... Huh. Interesting. So it will... That is something to keep in mind. The enter key seems to be updating the values even when it's not supposed to. But in any case, let's go to address 256. And let's just put in a delete. Now delete is 127, which is to just say all of these are ones. Oh geez, and then again. Not falling for that again. We're at 256. And then these are all going to be ones. Now what happens? Something happens. Save it. Hello world. Something is happening. maybe if I rewatch this, I will be able to tell what it is. But again, 255 or 225 at this point. But let's try putting it. Let's try going to 5. What is it? Come on. 256, 512. Let's try going to 512. We're gonna throw a delete in there. Did I delete the delete? Who knows? Whatever I did, it's not showing up here. But we got the hello world, which updated live, I think, with this text file. But yeah, this is a demonstration of the first steps of my BSComputer, where it took me probably, like 20 minutes to attempt to write a Python hello world program. Oh, we have something here. Could be the deletes. You know what? Just because I made you sit through all of this, we will just edit this to be functional. Save it. Great. Let's open a bash. We will go to, what is it? Projects, bin switch. Great. Let's move output.text to output. Oh, careful. .py. Not with a W. Great. Let's then Python that bad boy. And what do you know? We got an output. We got a hello world. We did it, fellas. We wrote hello world in 20 minutes. So, thank you for watching, and for watching me haphazardly almost delete 2 hours of work. You have a good rest of your night.